What's up, crafters? Today we are going to go over the different ice tests and why you should test every tumbler. So let me go ahead and unbox all of these and we'll get started. Alright, now that that's done, we don't need any of the care cards or the straws or anything, so I'm going to get these boxes out of here. Care cards out of here. You will, however, need the lids. Now, there's a couple of ways to do ice tests. The first one would be maximum retention, which is filling the cup all the way to the top and then putting the lid on with a nice seal. That's filling the cup all the way up with ice. No water though. If you use water on an ice test, you will have varied results because water is not at freezing temperature and your ice is. So the water is going to continually be trying to heat the ice up to its temperature so that they meet in the middle somewhere. So let's say you have 32-degree ice and you have water that goes in there at 55 degrees. They're going to try to meet in the middle around 41%. It's not really a valid ice test, especially if you're talking about maximum retention. You're using ice only. So I'm actually going to try that on these two 20 ounces. One of them is sanded and the other is not sanded, because I am curious. So this is how you should have your ice. This piece may have to go just with how the lid's gonna sit on there. I'm not sure yet. Just know that if your ambient temperature is above 80 degrees Fahrenheit, you will get vastly different results as well, as the ambient temperature outside the cup will denote how fast or slow the ice melts. Do the same thing on this one. Just really want to test max retention. Okay, another thing to note is that the seal on your lid needs to be the correct direction. The gasket has to be bonded onto the surface properly, and that would be the smaller ring on the bottom if you're looking at the lid this way, and the larger ring on top, and it should be snug down in there. It shouldn't be popping up out of the cup or at a wonky angle or anything like that. So you would close the lids on these, just leave these full of just ice and see how long they last. Essentially, if you're testing multiple tumblers or you want to see how the efficacy of Makerflo tumblers are, that is the test you would do. Now, if you're just doing a simple ice test to see if your cups have sealed properly, you can just fill with ice and leave for 8 to 12 hours. If there's any sweat outside of the cup and you have a good seal with the lid, your cup is probably broken. So see, I formed a nice little thing. Actually, we really want to test these coffee mugs out anyways because they are newish and I want to see how long they hold ice. And then the last one, which I have got ridiculous results with, is stainless steel hydro. I've never had one of these sweat with just the basic ice test, leaving for 8 to 12 hours. But I do want to see maximum retention of ice. So it's fairly simple. A lot of people get tripped up with putting water or not putting water. If you want to do a proper ice test, and any manufacturer that's going to guarantee their cups, they're going to go off of non-water added ice tests. So if you do an ice test, it's sweating outside, or your ice doesn't last for more than 4 to 6 hours, that's a problem, and I'll contact that distributor, or us obviously. You can always email John. I'm just going to throw these in here and then we will see what the results of this are. Boom, that is full of ice. So again, two different kinds of tests. You can just leave this here to test your cups before you sand and prime, just to see if the cup has a perfect seal or not. And then also, if you want to do maximum retention, just fill it with ice, leave it, come back and see your results. So we'll see what the results of these are and we'll post them at the end of the video. Alright guys, so it looks like there's a small piece of ice left in this one. Not a lot of ice fits in here, so there's a lot more air space to kind of just culminate around these. There's no sweat on any of these. As usual, the hydro probably still has half its ice left. There's about equal amounts of ice in these two, so that's nice. I wanted to see the efficacy of the sanded versus the regular, and it looks like it's very even and there's no sweating on either one. So it's fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, crafters, and I hope this has helped you with the ice test. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out on the Facebook group or, of course, to John, and happy crafting.